Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Racekraft Simulations V8 Veterans Season 23 for the Split 2 action out at Round 7 here this evening for Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro, bringing you all the action through sight and sound. Alongside me, once again, the great Brett Fisher joins me here this evening. Brett, we're having a little discussion prior to the race about how close this championship is getting, and for the drivers who have won races, they're sitting in a very positive spot. The big change, though, that came after last week's round out of Winton is we have a new championship leader in Ricky Hyde with the orange number next to his name. Apart from Jim Caperonis this season, no one who has taken the orange number has managed to take it 2 rounds in a row. So for Ricky tonight, the pressure's on. But for guys like Matt Muggleton and Sean Vandermill, they have an opportunity now to really snatch it from him, as we'll be having 2 drop rounds applied to the points post this race here tonight. But first of all, Brett, how are you? Second of all, I'm looking forward to tonight's race. This is going to be an absolute belter.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm good, thank you very much. And looking forward to the race tonight, seeing what's going to unfold. I mean, obviously I know part of what's unfolded, but I don't know other parts of the track, what happened there. But look, as you and I were discussing pre-race, pre sort of start of the broadcast. Yeah, the top 5, you know, maybe even top 7, 8 guys, they're still all within a chance, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds in these next few races. I'm pretty excited to see where it's going. You know, we've had a lot of winners throughout this series, and we've had a couple of repeaters now. So it'll be interesting to see where we lay tonight.
Well, you say a couple of repeaters. We've had a singular repeater this season. Matt Muggleton, the only driver to take multiple wins this season. Every other win has gone to a singular so far. The first half of the season, in fact, the first 5 rounds, we had a different winner every single week. It wasn't until last week at Winton that we saw Matt be the first driver to take... Wait, no, did Matt win last week or was it the week before? My brain is gone. Let me double check. Before I start making accusations, let me just double check. He did win last week. He did win last week. So, so yes.
I did self-correct myself when I did say that. I thought, no, hang on, there hasn't been 2. There's only been 1. But yeah, what a cracking season so far.
It has been, honestly, it has been one of the best, one of the closest seasons we've had to date thus far. We'll have a quick check of the circuit here tonight. The Google Earth images of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park up in Ontario, Canada. Not too far away. Yeah, not too far north of Toronto. And we're in for a single race. I was hoping we'd actually get I was hoping we'd get the return of the sprint round tonight, just so we could say we have a double on offer for you from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Big shout out to all the Holdens fans out there. But as we trickle our way on down, we see this beautiful circuit. It's one that has been used in a multitude of iRacing official seasons for a lot of different car types as well. It's been a part of the Supercars iRacing calendar for quite a while in the officials of iRacing. It gets rotated fairly often into the calendar. Of course, it was opened in June 1961. This layout's not been changed since then. 3.9 Ks, roughly 4 Ks, or 2.5 miles, roughly. In the old language, 10 turns as well. It all starts on the main straight, and as you head down towards turn 1, it can be a passing opportunity if you get the run out of turn 10, but it's not one if you're on the start of the race, unless the car beside you makes a mistake on the start-finish line. As you run up through turn 1, you want to try and take as tight a line as possible. Hug that wall on the inside of 1. And then as you then run it out wide to the left and the run up towards turn 2 and 2A at Clayton Corner, this is the first big test of the circuit here, Brett. This is one where we've seen multiple times incidents happening on lap 1 where cars have veered off the road and into the grass, or they've gone too tight and clipped the wall, and then all hell has broken loose. So this first racing speed corner that we're going to get at turn 2 and 2A, it's going to be a tough test for drivers, and it's going to be one where we may see our first safety car called if drivers are not cautious on turn 1. If you survive through there, though, you want to try and maximize your run through that corner. It is a downhill section, but then as you run up, as it flattens out to Quebec Corner at turn 3, this first sector, Brett, tough sector. It's
incredibly tough.
It's so tough. And this circuit, as small as it is, as tightly compact as it is, it has a very similar feel to other circuits in the US where it almost feels like 3 different circuits in one. And this is the first more flowing style of circuit that you get at the start of the lap. Difficult to pass that, but again, if you can maximize runs through these corners or the corner prior, so you maximize your run through turn 10, you get an opportunity at 1. Maximize your run through 1, you get an opportunity at 2. Maximize your run through 2, you get an opportunity at 3. It's a section where it can make or break your race, but we mentioned it pre-race to each other that you make one mistake around here at any corner, it ruins the whole lap. It's a very rhythmic circuit, and it starts with a crescendo almost at the start of the track for the first 3 corners.
And it's like we said, like you just said, it's a flowing track, and you can, if you miss your marker by a little bit, it can bugger yourself for 2 or 3 corners after that. Just sort of taking the edge off the car and stuff like that. Interesting going to turn 2 is that, it's a bit of a blind corner. You have to sort of try and get on the gas, and turn the car in without actually even seeing where the apex or the corner goes. You have to have a bit of confidence there to sort of, start and accelerate as you come over the top of there, just to get the car settled and start to grip up.
And then, so as you kind of exit this section, you kind of take a breath, you adjust the brake bias, because the next run up, you kind of go back uphill, then straight back downhill again at turn 4, and you come up to the dreaded Moss Corner, 5A, B, and C. This can be a passing opportunity. I say can be, but it's one where, again, you've got to almost get the run through 3 to set yourself up at 5. You've got to pre-plan this move. You can't just go for a dive, because it's not going to work every single time. Very easy to run the car wide, end up in the sand on the left. Very easy to get turned at this corner as well. If you cut the nose off of the car behind you and end up in the grass on the right-hand side. you got to try and keep it nice and steady through here. Dance the car through these to the first 3 corners of 5A and 5B, and then be cautious on your exit, because it can be quite slippery on exit if you get on the gas pedal a little bit too easily. Get a little bit overzealous for your run down the straight. Again, if you get a good run out of this corner and you're tucked up right behind the car in front of you, you get the benefit of the toe. But it's one where if you make a little mistake, whether it's a little jerk of the wheel or you clip some grass or something, your whole run down the Mario Andretti straight is ruined pretty much from the get-go. So maximize your run through there. You then set yourself up to hopefully try and get a move done down the straight through the fake turns 6 and 7 up towards the real turn 8 at the end of the straight, where you're not likely going to get it done through 8, but you can set yourself up into a position where you can get it done at turn 9 or at White's Corner at turn 10. It will come by very quickly, though. You'll start that Mario Andretti straight, Brett. You'll take your breath, and you'll think you've got time just to prepare, but all of a sudden you'll be at the braking zone at turn 8, and you'll be like, oh, got to get it stopped before we head in towards the S's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just going back to Moss Corner, Moss Corner is one of those couple of sections of the track that I struggled with earlier in practice and just couldn't get out of on 5C cleanly, and I always was dropping time, and it didn't really click until the last day or the last time I did some practice and started to get a little bit of time out of there. But you're right about Mario Andretti straight. And coming into the S's, it's a great track. I really, really enjoy it, and it's so rewarding when you start and actually get the car where you want it to go, and it starts to do the things you want it to do.
Yeah, it's we mentioned if you get out of your rhythm at one point, it ruins the rest of the lap. Of course, this track may be known to modern iRacing fans as the last circuit that ran the strength of field races for the Gen 2 car. This is where the final strength of field race was back in December, where I know a lot of the vets community, myself included, took part in that race. My race did not end so well. Did you take part in that race, Brett? And if you did, how well did it go?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. No.
Okay. All right. Well, mine ended up where I was in the same split as John Van Ree. And I ended up in the wall and having to fix my car at turn 8. I'm not going to say if John had any part in playing in that or if it was my own fault. It was my own fault. It wasn't John's fault. It was my fault. Got overzealous under brakes at turn 8, went straight on and then into the wall, had to fix the car. So it was not a fun time.
Easy to do.
Very easy to do. It's so easy to do. But as drivers are getting done with their qualifying session, we'll have a little 5-minute warm-up and then we'll be getting into the race. This 5-minute warm-up is going to be a good opportunity for us to talk about championship standings coming into this round and who is at play and who is in contention for this title race now. The pool is getting a lot smaller and smaller as the races go along here, Brett, with one drop round currently counted coming into tonight's event. Ricky Hyde, of course, leads the championship on 860 points. Andrew Rushworth is P2 on 835. Jim Capron is P3, 831. Muggleton in 4th on 813, but expect a gain from him, being that he's the only race winner of 2 races this season. And with one drop round taken away, that will gain him some points. Vandermeulen in P5, he's on 803, equal with Brian Minogue in P6, but Sean has had a couple more positive performances than what... Actually, no, they both had the same amount of positive performance, actually. Both had 4 top 5s, both had 4 top 10s. Those top 10s have all been top 5s for both drivers. So those guys are roundabouts there. We mentioned last week the sneaky surprise of Brenton O'Brien so far this season. He's back in P13 at the moment, but if he has a strong round tonight, you can watch him rise up the ranks. A couple of guys have had some poor runs the last few weeks, Brett. I think of Halil Cesar, I think of Shane Randall, I think of Mick Clifton, I think of Chris Blanchard. Those guys, unfortunately, and Reece Degoe, have just been out of the mix a little bit over the last few weeks at Barber and at Winton. This week, they've really got to get back on the horse, try and get a strong performance. And if they have a poor performance here tonight, then they're going to have to recuperate, prepare for next week for Daytona for 300 Ks, push on, try and get a strong result. And for those guys to really reignite their season, they're probably going to need a top 5 when we go racing around the road course at Daytona.
100%. And you mentioned the pool before. I hope it's not a yellow pool. I hope they're getting out to go to the loo.
I hope they do as well. Some drivers are out there at the moment on circuit with us here at the wonderful Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, as I mentioned. And I'm excited. I mean, this circuit, I've mentioned it before this season. This calendar had 2 tracks, which were my first 2 tracks of league racing in Devs, one of them being Mid-Ohio, the other being Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So This circuit holds a very special place in my heart. It's a great track. As I said, last strength of field race was held here. It's a great race, even though my race didn't end in the pits, but I ended a lap down. But it's still a great circuit, and one which it will challenge drivers as well. But I'm excited for the next 3 weeks coming up, Brett. I mean, Daytona next week.
I am absolutely pumped.
I'm a big fan of Daytona. It's one of 2 tracks on iRacing that I hold a race win at. The other is Long Beach, so I love chaos, if you can't tell. I love Long Beach and I love Daytona. So I'm excited for Daytona.
I like a bit of chaos.
Oh, I love chaos. I love Daytona. Interlagos as well, second to last round, heavily rumoured to be a wet race. As we've been mentioning over the last couple of weeks, we thought that race would make the most sense to be a wet one. That's the heavy rumour at the moment, is Interlagos is going to be rainy, wet, which would make sense. Interlagos in Formula 1's the majority of times it's been wet at Interlagos when they've gone raining there, so if it is wet, I'm excited for that. If it's dry, I'm excited for it too. It's a great circuit for racing. And then VIR to end out the season, not the first time that circuit has been the finale for us in the Vets. I believe it was back in season 16, it was the finale of that season as well. So it's been known to finish out the season. It's been known to show us some good racing as well. It will be a tough end to the season, though. Tough end to the season. No.
It's going to actually show who has got the stamina and the mental stamina, the least obviously amount of mistakes that are made, and the cream is going to rise to the top.
It will.
You know, and we're seeing the the top 10 drivers in the current championship standings at the moment. You know, it's on for young and old. You only need a couple of people on the top end to fall and have a bit of a bad one, as we see someone there just having a bit of an orphan. Mick Clifton having a bit of an ordinary one there.
Might as well do it now instead of when the green flag flies for the race.
Yep, certainly. But I mean, we haven't seen qualifying times yet, but I'll tell you what, in practice, weren't the times close? It was just first incredibly close.
Top 28 cars were separated by less than a second. So the whole field was separated by a second and a half. I mean, it was ridiculous to get those sorts of times
How good
happening.
is that, though? I mean,
it's so good.
That just goes to show you that the level of split 2 competitors is really closely matched.
It is.
And, you know, like I was thinking the last couple of races where I qualified down in 20th or whatever it was, in 25th and stuff like that, and I'm just going, what am I doing down here? What am I doing wrong? But then I looked at the qualifying times, and apart from probably, the top 3 or 4 drivers who had sort of exceptional times, my time was fairly close. I was in that sort of second range, where most of the time I sort of, pop out of the 1.5 to 2 second range off the fast guys, the top end of the split. So I've got to probably not being so hard on myself.
Yeah, I think maybe you just need to ease off yourself a little bit, maybe, Brett. In future, but when we mentioned it as well, it comes to an end. It's we're going to be at the final round before you know it in 3 weeks' time, and there's no more short races this season. This is the last 150k race of the season. Next week, Daytona 300ks. The lucky part is, I think, for these drivers, as someone who has done endurance racing at Daytona before, you get reprieve in those longer races. You get rest, so that's going to be okay. It should be a good race. It's either going to be chaotic or it's not. We've had both time and time before. 200Ks at Interlagos, 200Ks at VIR. So it's going to be a strong finish to season's end. But for a strong start for tonight's race, let's have a look at the starting grid as Matt Scholes returns to form and takes pole position here tonight for 801 Sim Racing. He'll start alongside P2 in the championship, Andrew Rushworth, who could do with a second race win to really put his stamp on this championship and really throw a spanner in the works. His competitors, Sean Vandermillen, well, he'll start in P3 for 9.5 Sim Sports alongside Chris Blanchard on the second row of the grid. Ricky Hyde, the championship leader, will start P5 alongside another hot favourite to take the lead of the championship after drop rounds are included for the second drop round. P6, Matt Muggleton. Jim Caparone has started the season so strong. It's been a little bit of the lump the last 2 weeks. This week he'll be hoping for a strong run and to try and garner some more positive points and really turn this season around for himself. He'll start alongside Rick Viger on the fourth row, with Brenton O'Brien getting inside of the top 10 in qualifying alongside Adrian Zeal there to make up the top 10. Dave Arney and Damon Fisher, they'll then make up the top 12 here in qualifying. As we move back to Tim Mulford and Shane Randall for your top 14. Brett Fisher starts P15 in a great effort with Reese Segoe in P16 alongside. Andrew Hoffman, Lorne Mackay, Matt Stoyles and Mick Clifton will then make up the top 20. Mario Reale and Simon Haynes for your top 22 with Simon Hedersheet and Brian Minogue, out of P24. Brian inside the top 10 of the championship. He'll have to do some work here tonight to really gain some positive points to continue that charge in towards the top 5. Scott West and Sean Cullen then starting behind them with Jeremy Bush, Matt Monday, Halil Cesar and Mikey Harlan making up the top 30. A disappointing qualifying from Mikey there. He'll have some work to do from the back as well. Derek Lovegrove, Brett Taylor, Richard Barella and Jason Fewens at the back of the field. Our race controllers here tonight, David Coleman, Jamie Duck and Thomas Freeman as well. Paul Burns did join the server, but he is not starting this race here this evening. But what an effort, though, from Matt Scholes. Gets the car back into form. After quite a long while, he puts the car on pole. I'd have to look back at the last time he got pole. It may not have been ever since season 18. I'm not quite sure, but it's a top effort from him to put the car there. But he's going to have a big test tonight here, Brett. And I have a feeling, though, if it comes down to him or his teammate Ricky, knowing that Ricky's in the championship hunt, he may give the win to Ricky. If he has to, I think Matt's. If he has to, I think he'll give it to Ricky just to let Ricky put the challenge more so into this championship charge as well. We've got a heap of chats out there too. Great to have you all watching along with us once again as well. Sean Vandermill is joining us. Brett, you're out in the chat too, getting everyone pumped. Dane Palmer as well. Simon Haynes, Steph Piccoli, Matt Muggleson's out there as well. Damon Fisher, Paddo's joining us here tonight. Brad Grant.
Zoe Vandermeulen.
Yeah, Zoe Vandermeulen as well, yes. So great to have everyone watching along. Great to have everyone supporting, whether it's themselves or their significant others.
I hope you've all got your drinks charged, your snacks ready, and you're in your comfy pants because we're about to go racing.
We are indeed. The lights are up for the drivers. Barney is clenching the green flag as tightly as he ever has before. As he waves it here this evening, we are underway and running down towards turn 1. And it's a hot start from Rushworth and Vandermeulen, who look to fight for the lead off the line. Scholes has bogged it right up. As we can see, Blanchard running right off the exit of turn 1 as well. It's been a good start from other drivers as Randall looks to follow Blanchard in towards turn 2. He's got Zeal on his inside. And as they run round 2 as well, there's slight contact. Both of them getting unsettled. Drivers scramble to avoid, but they're locked together like a key and a lock on a chain off the circuit. Oh, it's a tough go. That almost looked like... Messy. Yeah, that looks like they've almost fused together at that point. Yeah. I mean, it's like they couldn't get away from each other. But Rushworth has taken the early lead, an incredible effort. Vandermeulen P2, Scholes, Hyde, Muggleton the top 5. Caperonis, O'Brien, Rick Viger, Mulford, and Blanchard down 6 makes up the top 10. So a tough start for Blanchard and work to do throughout the next 38 laps.
Well, everyone got a clean start. Everyone got for the first couple of corners nice and cleanly, but we just had that little tangle coming off there. But everyone has got through all right. I think there would have been a couple of people, there was a little bit of challenge there as well. So while the cars are sort of just the tyres coming up to temperature and things like that, people are starting to look to see what they can do while they can, before the cars start to settle and get up to temperature.
Matt Monday as well, looking for early moves here on the inside of Halil Cesar at turn 10. It's a good move. Both drivers up 3 at the moment. Fewens is up 6 from the back of the field. That's a good effort from him. Harland up 1, Lovegrove up 1, Taylor Barella also up 1. Biggest losers thus far, Adrian Zeal, who was unfortunately involved in that incident on lap 1 at turn 2. He's down 24. Randall down 19 as well. So race control will be checking over that one to see who might have been found at fault, or if there's multiple penalties needing to be applied. We're unsure. We'll see what they say. But currently as it stands, Andrew Rushworth leads the way.
And he's pulling a bit of gap.
Yeah.
Too. So he's got himself in the groove really, really quickly here. So he's going to want to try and, if he can, break that toe while Vandermeulen, Scholes and Hyde are starting to battle it out. So that'll be interesting to see how he goes there. Whether he can keep pushing forward and just create a nice little gap for himself. Other than that, the rest of the field's probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs that are fairly close. So there's a lot of racing going on.
There is indeed, and Vandermeulen, you saw off the exit of 5B there, was right on the edge of the tow range. It's around about 0.8 of a second. To really get the good effects, though, in these cars, especially with this updated damage model for them, you got to be really realistically within 4/10 to really get the proper advantage of the toe. So it's a tough go for him.
It's not much of a toe either.
No.
I mean, it's a toe, but it's not much. So, you know, in a small pack, you can sort of like slowly creep away, but it's not really a dramatic toe.
Well, we saw at Watkins at the start of the season where that it was more or less you had good toe down the straight, but as soon as you hopped out of the toe, it was like you hit a brick wall. You just went nowhere.
Yeah.
And
also,
that's
send a bit of smoke somewhere behind.
Reese to
coming off the track there.
Yep, so a tough night on the track for him already. He's lap 3 of 38, so the laps are going to go by quick and fast, it seems. But he rejoins the circuit just ahead of Mario Reali at this stage. Well, I wonder because for the Sup Regs this week, then the drivers only had one compulsory pit stop, obviously, because the critical lap for most would have been lap 1. For the fair few would have been lap 2. So one CPS this week. I'll be interested to see how many drivers take the early stop option. I personally wouldn't. The only scenario I would do it is if there was a safety car called on lap 1 and you were in maybe the last 10 cars in the train, come in lap 1, take some fuel. Yeah. So, safety car called, you come in lap 1, take some fuel. Doesn't count as a CPS, but you come in later in the race and take your tyres, and then it really cuts down on that fuel amount you have to take.
Yeah, real quick stop.
Yep, exactly. So it's a small loss for what could be a big gain depending how things go your way. But I wouldn't do it if you're maybe above, if there's a 34 car grid tonight, wouldn't do it if you're above maybe P25. Wouldn't be worth it.
Yep.
Simon Haynes has just had a bit of a blink, but he returns right in behind you, Brett, and you've had a good start. You haven't gained or lost anything, but sitting solid in P15. No. And, I mean, I've raced you quite a few times before, but what's your mindset at the moment? I mean, I know that you've been wanting to run in the top 15 for the whole season pretty much. That's where you want to end up finishing. How are you feeling at this stage? Are you feeling the pressure from Haynes behind, or if he goes for it, are you going to be willing to let him have it just to survive a bit longer? Because it is only a small race tonight. As I say that, Van Meulen's already on the charge on Rushworth.
Yeah.
So we can go back to that one. Or you can talk us through it whilst these guys battle.
Yeah, well, just keep watching this for a second because this is getting pretty hot just here. So we'll wait until this settles down for a second. We'll reconvene.
Matt Scholes has blown his engine at the end of the straight.
Wow.
So Matt Scholes has money shifted into turn 8 and the car's having to come into pit lane. That's a big loss for him and for that team. Heartbreak for him. For the lucky part is it will count as a CPS, so he can still just run right to the end. Race is not over just yet, but he's going to have some work to do now because he's going to have to go, 34 laps on a set of tyres?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long way, and it's been rude and it's unloaded the overlays. That is fantastic. Thank you so much, SDK.
Oh.
Fantastic.
That's all right. We'll get it back. Or can we get it back or not?
I'll see if we can. We'll make moves to do it. If we can't, I'll have to pause and we'll have to come back to it.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll put on some elevator music or something. So to go back to your question before, how was I feeling about Hainesy behind me? Look, Hainesy is a great driver. I know he's quick. Was I concerned? No, I wasn't. I thought, look, he's a smart. Well, is he a smart cookie? Yeah, he's a smart cookie. I thought early in the race, let's just sort of settle in and see where we're going. But I felt like I had a reasonable amount of pace, so I was happy to sort of get the car up to temp, start and settle in, and just hopefully push forward from there. And even when I sort of start to close in on a few guys, I actually felt like I had a little bit more pace, but it's so hard to sort of do something with it too. But hey, it is what it is. But no, I was fairly confident with myself at this point, and was actually just enjoying trying to sort of get around and wrestle the car around here. So Van Meulen out in front now. He's probably got about a half a second gap, if that, on Rushworth at the moment. Can't see the rest of the field, but I think the rest of the field's just starting to spread out just a little bit up the front end.
Yeah, they are at the moment. We're gonna try one thing, and then if that doesn't work, we're gonna be going to B-roll, and we're gonna do a hard reset of it. So we're gonna try one more attempt to fix this, which means we'll just be able to talk for 2 to 5 minutes while I try and fix it. So let's see if this works.
That's all good. That's all good. But the guys doing a great job. I mean, they're probably actually just conserving themselves at the moment, knowing the fact is that they're just trying to get themselves sorted. Obviously, Vandy Millen wanted to get in front, and he's done that. But at this stage of the race, we started only early in the session, so not knowing when everyone's going to pit, knowing that we're going to.
We're just going to take a small hiatus while I completely reload my SDK. So we'll be back soon, guys. We'll have a quick chat about while I completely reload this.
Yeah, you're right. Go
about who's really been, in within this fight all season. We can quickly break down what's happened at the start of this race. So obviously Scholes has blown that engine and he's come in early, so his race is not completely done just yet. He's still got opportunity on his hands, and we'll see that.
It's not totally destroyed.
No,
he was lucky he blew the engine where he did. He was able to roll himself into pits. Hopefully he had his fast repair on ready to go, and back out. So and as you said, hey, take that opportunity to get your compulsory done, fuel up. Okay, it's a little bit early, but it's doable. I think I did 32. Oh no, well I did a full fuel run, which I can't remember how many laps that was. Probably it was 18 or something. And the tyres were still reasonable at that point. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously...
No, it was more than that.
The hard part now for Matt is he's now going to have to go a long, long period to, on a set of tyres. And he's going in this track, you make 2 or 3 mistakes, tyres are just going to drop. Yeah. They're just going to drop straight down. So
you've got to try and bring them back down in temperature to sort of bring them back, and because of the way the track is, it sort of doesn't allow you to do that if you're pushing.
Yeah, no, it really likes to decide that, oh no, if you push too hard or too early, oh no, your tyres are just gone. They are gone. So it's but just bear with us here, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give everyone an update, I've loaded into an AI session just to reload the live timing, because unfortunately my file this week was blinky as all hell. I was having real bad server issues on Thursday night, so my replay was actually unusable. So thankfully David Coleman provided me with his this week, so big thank you to Coleman. Big ups to Coleman for providing me with his save file this week and for sending it to my way as well.
While we're sort of in this little break here, people in the chat, there's 20 people out there at the moment. G'day to everyone. Let's see who thinks that can take out this championship with a few laps, a few races to go. See what the viewers' thoughts are with who can come home.
So if we maybe give them 5 or 6 names, maybe. So I think I think the names that we want to hear you guys predict about is probably like Muggleton, Caperonis, Vandermeulen, and Hyde. Minogue's up there. Rushworth. Maybe even an O'Brien if he can sneak his way up there too. Let us know. Let us know your thought. Paul Burns is up there at the moment as well in the championship standings. And is there anyone that's kind of who was in that sort of initial, who's had a bad slump these last few weeks? Your Cesars, your De Goeys, your Blanchards, your Randalls. Whose championship now do you think maybe could be a write-off, and maybe more so they just have to try and get their mentality back and maybe fight their way forward again? We want to hear from you about that one as well. Dane's saying Muggleton, so I mean it's a fair shout. I mean Muggleton's been very, very strong the last few weeks as well, so he's definitely Ricky as well.
Yeah, Rushworth. We've got one on Rushworth.
Yeah, so there's definitely some. I mean, I'm still under the belief that Vandermeulen's one of the stronger drivers out in the field, and I think
definitely, yeah.
Even after his round 1, to see where he is now is incredible. So it's been a very, very fair run from him to get back to where he is. for sure. So, but yeah, I think he should be one of the hot favourites as well. Ricky Hyde's been very, very consistent thus far. But I don't remember what lap we were on. I think we were on the lap. It was lap 8, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I didn't see.
We'll say lap 5.
I didn't see the timing tower.
Well,
but yeah.
we'll say lap 5. We'll say lap 5.
Let's just go again.
Yep. And if and if it drops out again, well, you're gonna have no overlays. So we're gonna do the hard reset on overlays once. So there we go. We got it back, and we're going again. Very good.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
Fingers crossed. It should be fine now. It should be fine. It's not. It normally decides to be naughty one time, and after that it normally settles.
Hopefully that's the case. So Van der Meulen out in front at the moment. He's got half a second on Rushworth. Hyde's not that far behind. Muggleton's tucked in there as well. Jim Caparonis is also tucked up there. O'Brien, Rick Bigger, and Tim Melford, Blanchard, Arnie, Damon has passed the top 10. But so there's some good names in there.
Yeah, some good strong drivers as well up inside the 10. Mackay battling away with Minogue. At the moment he's got Tagoe in behind him. But Van der Meulen leads the way at this stage of the race as well. Rushworth hot on his heels. Ricky Hyde, Matt Muggleton and Jim Caparonis inside of the top 5. Could this be the top 5 of the championship leaving this round after they include another drop round? Well, it's quite possible. I mean, these guys have been very strong all season.
Jim's looking strong here too, you know, like, I mean, he's obviously in position 5 currently at the moment, and he's just propped himself there, so I wonder what's going through his head. Nice little slide there as he comes over the top, but here we go.
Lorne Mackay spun it round at the final corner and is now dropping down the order. Very lucky.
Lucky that he's able to spin that right around like that.
It was a good flick spin, and he got it going once again, so lap 6 of 38. I don't believe there's been any proper pit stops thus far. Although Mick Clifton's in, so that's for a proper pit stop. I spoke too soon. Matt Scholes has come in, of course, to fix his blown engine. So he's now back out there and having to go a long, long way on a set of tyres throughout the rest of this race. A lot of work to be done for Matt Scholes, who sits all on his lonesome. But I guess the beauty is he sits on his lonesome, so he can now just set quali laps without anyone stuck in front of him, so he can push on. 100%. And I think if he can get a top 10, that's a solid effort, I think. And if
definitely.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if he can get a top 10, maybe on for driver of the day. Just going to say, because that's a tough that's a tough turnaround. Blown engine lap 5, top 10 lap 38. Are you kidding me? That would be ridiculous.
That's huge. Yeah, because it's you feel like your race has been destroyed, and then coming back from that. Just watching Tim Mulford on Rick Bigger here with Blanchard closely following behind. He was up to nearly 0.2 of a second behind Rick at certain sections of the track there. So that's a hotly contested little battle going on there. The other one I was keeping an eye on was Hoffman, very close to Damon as well. I saw him getting close, and Simon Haynes on the back of me also. So there's a few really close however you want to say it.
Contested battles.
Even back, thank you. Even Fuen's on Cesar, and Sean on Fuen's as well, further down the pack. So there's still some great battles going up and down this field so far.
So can confirm as well, Shane Randall has had to commit to a drive-through penalty for that contact on lap 1. And I believe Adrian Zeal has been given a post-race points penalty for not holding his brakes through that incident as well. So that's the update on those ones thus far. Rick Viger, Mulford and Blanchard, they were getting feisty inside of the top 10. Blanchard caught it on the outside. He's going to get the inside at turn 9. Oh, this is some great stuff.
Doesn't quite get it done. Side by side, they come through that last turn.
He pitted straight.
It's a matter of who gets the power down now.
Mick pitted Steph. That's why he's down the order. So he came in for a tactical pit stop, I believe, on lap 5.
Tagoe in pits. Barella in pits.
Barella in 2. So some early stoppers in this one. Definitely trying to roll the dice further back in the field and seeing what can come. I mean, this circuit, very strong undercut. This circuit's undercut is incredibly strong. So they may very well be attempting that. I think if you're someone like Blanchard or Arnie or even a Fisher, that being Damon, you could definitely go for an undercut strategy here, and could even get into the position where if they keep battling, you jump all the cars that are ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, this battle pack is really closing up now too, so I wonder whether Rick is just a little bit of a bottleneck here, because there's a few times where I've seen Mulford trying to just have a look and really put some pressure on him, so he's chasing him down really strongly here.
And he's putting that pressure on him is Tim Mulford on the back of Rick Viger. Down the Mario Andretti straight, he looks to the inside line. He's not quite willing to go for it this early in the race. Viger survives thus far. Mulford is all over him though as they come through the S's and up towards turn 10. As I said,
look at that train though.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that train there. Like it's you know, how many cars in that, and there's only a small gap. Mulford having another little show of the nose there.
He wasn't quite willing to have it just yet. I think if you're going to get it done at turn 1, as I said, you know, in our little pre-race spiel, that you know, you've got to set it up at 10. You've got to try and get the run through 10 and get a long side down the main straight. Otherwise, it's never going to happen.
Look at the exit speed he got out of there, Mulford. Sorry, Hamish.
No, it's fine. He is rocketing. I have to wonder, is he maybe changing his throttle mapping throughout the race, and he's just getting a little bit of better drive out of some of these corners?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I found myself that, you know, like it's one of the, oh, that's really close. He's gone there, gone deep in there. I'll tell you, and again. So he's got some speed in that car he can't use at the moment. I was finding that back on that turn 2 and 2A, that, you know, the earlier you could get on the power and hold it, you could get a decent run out of that corner and you could get some speed. Have a look at this he's going to have a look on the inside, but can he do anything with it? Floats it through here.
He's
just
really
backed off slightly.
Really pushing to try and get this through, but he can't find a passing opportunity.
And that was probably one of the most frustrating parts about this track. So Damon's in.
He's in for that undercut, so he's trying to go for it. This could pay off well.
Yeah, there was a lot of the time I felt, you know, like I had some speed in the car, but I couldn't use it as well. It's so hard to make a move. Unless someone actually made an error and you could take advantage of that. And even if they did sometimes, as we were watching Hoffman on Arnie, even if they did sometimes, they could bring it back online and you still couldn't get past them. So when someone made an error, they had to make a big error and lose a bit of speed out of the car to enable you to really try and do something with it.
Oh, Halil Cesar off the road down at turn 3. Drops a couple of spots. I don't know if there was anything untoward with that one or if he did it himself, but definitely he's dropped quite a few now. So he'll be trying to push on to get this car back in line. Here comes Mulford though.
Yeah, Mulford again, yep.
And he looked to be forced to the outside line, but he's given up a little bit of time down the straight. As we can see further back too, Hoffman and Stoyles battling it out side by side towards turn 8. Stoyles around the outside, an incredible effort, gets the job done, slots ahead of Hoffman before turn 9, and now he has Dave Arney in his sights as the next car he wants to get past, as Brett Fisher comes into pit lane for an undercut as well, and a great opportunity.
Yeah, I thought I was just, like I was saying before, I felt like I was just being held up a fraction there. We see Sean Carlton hit there too, with a bit of front end damage, and I was hoping that I was going to come out in a spot where I could actually just, you know, gain a little bit of lap times, a little bit of lap speed.
Halil in as
Monday
well.
on Bush as well. That's fairly close battle.
I went to Matt Muggleton then.
That's okay.
Out of
That's all right.
pure. I don't know. I heard the name Matt, and I just assumed it was Muggleton. So.
Bush
has been off
there.
So,
perfect. You've done that perfectly.
I feel like you were setting me up for that one there. As Bush has just disappeared into the shadow realm. So.
Yeah.
As I said, I have a feeling it wasn't just me that was being affected by some of these server issues on Thursday, because some drivers are blinking pretty poorly as well. It's unfortunate. It's Harlan. What has happened to him there?
Harlan's just gone to the wall there. And I just saw a pass Brett Taylor did on Lovegrove as well. So Brett Taylor's, that's happened a couple of turns back, but he's made a move there. So that's good. He's done that well.
It's a great effort there from Brett. At this stage, I can see that you're hot on the heels of your brother, as well as Blanchard comes in, as does Simon Haynes. So definitely getting in now to undercut territory. A couple laps before the end of the tank life. Drivers coming in trying to undercut the cars around them. To give the update on the race leader, Vandermeulen leads the way. Rushworth, Ricky Hyde, Matt Muggleton inside the top 4. Caperonis off the pace a little bit, but he's got Brett O'Brien. Look who's there. Brett O'Brien, who, as we've said, ever since the last few weeks, has been a real sneaky performer. And
I wonder what's happened to Jim though. Like, because Jim's dropped off that. He's 2.5 seconds down off Muggleton now. So I wonder whether he's had a little bit of an off or just got the back of the car lead up or dropped that far off. And as you're saying, not to take anything away against O'Brien, but that seems uncharacteristic. That gap building that big that quickly.
Yeah,
see Mulford right on up there too. He looks like he might be going for a pass on Vigor again.
Can he get this done on Rick? Forced to the outside.
Is he going to try and keep it around
he's
the
trying
outside
to hang it out there.
This is a brave.
Very brave. Ricky Hyde's in pit lane 2. Oh my God. What a great move.
That is a fantastic pass.
That is a top-level move from a top-level driver in Tim Mulford. Hats off, though, to Rick Viger. Gave him plenty of room. Dave Arney wants to sneak it down the inside at 1, though, as well. Can't quite get alongside. It was a tough, well-earned move there from Tim Mulford. So, yeah, Ricky's in.
Ricky Hyde in pit. Yep. I'll tell you now, that move would, if we had a Bunnings power pass, that would go down as one of those. I know we don't.
Oh, don't worry. I still reckon we should try and get a Zinger replay at some point. We need Chubby Buns Burgers to bring out like a hot and spicy range, just so we can bring that back. So,
and there goes that spicy pass. Dave Arney's climbed.
Contact with Rick Viger, and Arney's off the road. Stoyles gets past Rick. Hoffman trying to get it done as well. I don't know if Rick's slowing up due to the lack of pace or he was trying to redress for some reason, but Brian Minogue's right there as well. What a race Minogue's having, up 14 at the moment and inside of the top 10. Weston's also up 14, not too far behind.
He's hung it out on the inside there. Is he gonna make this stick on the inside? He's not on the right position for this next corner, but it looks like he might have backed it out there.
Had to back it out.
Oh, Rick looks like Rick's going in for the pit now.
Yeah, I think he's decided it's time to come in. You're giving up time in this battle. Dave Arney's had to come in. Bush, I said he was coming in, but I think
Fewens.
he was. Yeah. So these guys are in.
Lap
Bush is up 10.
So far of 38 laps.
Yep. Taylor's up quite a few. Lovegrove's up a few as well. Harlan's up in the double digits now. Just trying to recover. Zeal with a bit of a recovery drive, but will drop spots when he does take his pit stop, as will DeGoey, as will Randall too. So DeGoey and Randall both with drive-through penalties
O'Brien
so
having
far.
a challenge on Caperonis now. He was there up there for a second.
And it is getting...
O'Brien's hot at the moment, isn't he? Like,
he is.
Yeah, he's going.
Yeah, I mean, he might have to be a sneaky front runner for that driver of the day at the moment here, Brett. I mean, he's doing very well.
I'm going to write him down.
Because the four names in front of him have already won. So he's the top-seeded driver that could possibly win this tonight. Yep. Although Mulford's having a good run. Stoyles is having a good run as well. So's Minogue. Although Minogue's already won it, so that scratches him off the list. Hoffman won it last week. As Muggleton's in at the commencement of lap 15.
Caperonis in as well.
Yep, so Jim's in.
And I just wanted to touch on... racing with my brother there. I'm only about 0.2 behind him at the moment. I'll tell you what, I reckon for the a lot of those laps that we completed, I was only 0.5 or under off the back of his car, and it was a fantastic run we had for the laps coming up. It was great. You know, I was able to get right up in the back of him. He wasn't phased by a couple of like shows of the nose and a couple of little challenges I set up to him, and he held out pretty strong.
Fewens is back in pit lane. Sorry to interrupt. Fewens is just coming for a second time.
You're right. All good.
That's weird. That's weird that he's come back in. I'm surprised you're not flashing him, Brett. That's what I would have done.
No,
I just would have flashed. I just would have flashed him all lap. Just hold the finger down the flash button.
Why didn't you think you're allowed to do that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe if someone calls you in, then maybe. But Vandermeulen though with a good lead at the moment as well. You mentioned Haynes.
Yeah, Haynes and Blanchard are having a good challenge on Clifton at the moment as well. So
Yeah.
they're on a 1.2 seconds. So something's lighting up here.
Yeah, Lovegrove's hot on the heels of Taylor and Bush as well.
Taylor and Bush.
As they run up towards turn 9 and turn 10. Coming up on towards lap
O'Brien
16.
in pits.
O'Brien's in. So is Jeremy Bush. Oh, but Lovegrove's off the road. And into the wall, and into the wall hard. And if he needs a tow, it's almost guaranteed to be a safety car, because that's a very dangerous position.
Yeah, and I think the flame's out on that mobile.
So Brian, Zeal, Bush are all in pit lane. Vandermeulen yet to come in. He's been told to hold and wait to do his tow. But it could not have come at a better time for those drivers who haven't yet taken a pit stop, because this is the end of the fuel run. And it's a free pit stop, and it's a safety car out on circuit. And I believe it was a hardware failure. I think Steph's right.
I see Stephanie also commenting saying that Chubby's has a special jalapeno on it, so maybe we could call it the jalapeno pass of the day. And I'm surprised that I actually can pronounce jalapeno when it's got a J in it.
So Rushworth's in, so is Vandermeulen, Mulford in as well. I expect the drivers who've yet to pit to come in now. Hoffman, Stoyles, Minogue, Weston, Reale, Hedersheed, Taylor. Does he come through pit lane? Mikey Harland at the moment still blinking at this stage. He comes through pit lane too. Reese to go, he's in.
He's done well. Oh, there was a big lock up.
Oh, that was a big lock up. That was a big lock up.
He's done well to actually not. He got away with that, running into that wall and not copping a massive amount of damage. So because that looked like a fairly reasonable hit, So he's been lucky to keep going fairly cleanly. Oh.
I think
was that
Harlan,
a drive-through?
He's either had a drive-through or he's missed his box and he's had to drive straight through.
Wow. What lap are we on? Oh, he's blinked out again.
Blinked, he's still blinking. Okay, it was not a race control serve drive-through, I can say that.
Yeah, no, I was just looking for that.
So I reckon he's missed his pit box. Because of the fact that he obviously tried to get it pulled up. So out of all this, so Muggleton, who undercut Vandermeulen by 2 laps in his pit stop, comes out in the lead of the race. Hyde, who came in on lap 12, has remained up into the top 2. Harlan needs to pit. Vandermeulen, look at where O'Brien is. P4 corrected, because Harlan's going to need to pit. Skulls, look at where Skulls is as well. He's up into the top 10 after blowing his engine on lap 5. An incredible effort. Rushy's really lost out in this pit stop. Caperonis as well's there. Mulford, Haynes. So the corrected top 10 goes all the way down to Andrew Hoffman, because Marky Harlan's going to have to pit because he can't make it any further on his fuel.
Simon Haynes has done well. He's got himself up to the top 10 as well. So, he's got himself in a pretty good position there. Simon's done his pit, hasn't he?
He has. Everyone barring Mikey Harland has taken a pit stop. So I kind of want to focus on Mikey coming into pit lane, because I want to see where his pit box is. Because if it's right at the end of the lane, like right at the start, that would explain why. Because he locked it straight up, and I don't know if he was prepped for where it was. Maybe. So we'll watch him come in and see where this pit box is for him. Come on, give us a better shot than that. There we go.
Here he comes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's right there. He's missed it.
Right up the back end.
Yep, he missed it. So that's really unfortunate for him.
He'd be giving himself an uppercut.
He will be.
And someone's caught in pit lane. Lovegrove's just caught on the exit pit lane.
Yep, so he has to wait for the whole train to come past. Though he's not eligible for a waiver round anyway for bringing the safety car out. He has to wait for the pit entry to open. So Muggleton leads the way. Hyde, Vandermeulen and O'Brien as well, with Skulls up inside of the top 5. Seeing as we've got the safety car out, we're going to take this quick ad break. Thanks to Racecraft Simulations. If you're in the WA area, head over to 16 Grogan Road, Perth Airport. Grogan Road, Perth Airport, sorry. Have a chat to John and the team. Check out some of the rigs they got on the floor. Test some of them out as well. We'll be back very, very soon after these short, sharp messages from Racecraft. Great to be back. Thanks to Racecraft Simulations for supporting the V8 Veterans as the title sponsor. Big shout out to the other series sponsors as well, including Logitech G, who's been a long-time partner of the Vets, as well as Player One Sim Gear, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Nova Sim Sports, Sud Speed Gloves, LGC Images, and Chubby Buns Burgers for their support by bringing us the Driver of the Day award as well. And if you're watching over on the V8 Veterans channel, be sure to hit the like button, to subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on the Vets. Whether that's with the Split 2 action at 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Saturday nights, Split 3 action at 6:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 PM New Zealand Standard Time Saturday nights, or the Split 4 action 9 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Friday nights. If you're watching over the Infinity Broadcasting channel, please, please, please hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we've got action coming your way on Infinity Broadcasting, as I said, including the Vets at 8:30 majority of the time on Saturday nights, and then also the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series brought to you through the IRWC Monday nights, 7:50 PM, as Reese DeGoey has ended up off the road on the main straight.
He's having a bad run, isn't he?
He is. It's just an unfortunate run. We were just sitting on board then, as we're giving our thank yous, with Brent O'Brien, who's up inside of the top 5 with Matt Scholes hot on his heels. These are currently, for me, the two front runners for the Driver of the Day at the moment, Brett. And the other person I can really look to is maybe Mulford or Haynes at this point.
And I was just looking at the battle between, from Mulford, which is in 8th spot, all the way down to 15. So that's a reasonably big train there of cars that are fairly close there. So there's a bit of action happening in that pack.
They're just getting their Daytona practice in. They're ready to sit in the train.
Probably. Yeah.
Haynes are under pressure from Hoffman.
Yeah, Mulford's cleared. But Hoffman's definitely chasing down Haynes here.
Yeah, Clifton up as well. He's up 9 in a great effort too into P11. So both him and Haynes are having a strong run here this evening. Stoyles is doing well, up 6-2 at this point. Self and Damon are still having a cuddle together like your young fellas again. following each other
I
around?
don't know whether that's the right way to describe it. But anyway, having a cuddle.
Yeah,
Jeez, you might do that with your siblings, but hey.
I only said it to get you to say the word cuddle, I'll be honest, Brett.
Yeah.
So I've just absolutely baited you into saying it. No, I mean, you're following each other around, So, in behind Mr. Stoyles.
Mate, I was trying. I was trying to do everything I could to sort of unsettle him, but I seen him said in the chat before that he kept his eyes forward, so that's what you need to do. And it's great to see him still up there too. I want to see him sort of go well.
So are you the older brother, Brett, or are you the younger brother?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Older by 1 year.
Oh, okay. So, trying to unsettle the
younger brother,
the young hothead brother. I think we could maybe say. It's often the younger brothers are more hot-headish than the older brother, aren't they?
No, not Damon. He's pretty chill.
Okay.
He's pretty chill. Yeah, no, he's all right. He's all right.
As
I said, I hope to see him sort of do well in the coming races and seasons, because he's had a bit of bad luck, but he's going well. He's going all right.
Well, we're yet to see you touch each other this season in terms of having a crash together, so there's still time though for that to happen.
Yeah. Well, Scholes on the back of O'Brien here too, so he's very close there. 0.2 of a second, 0.3.
And of course, I noticed. I'm not sure if. I don't know if it was officially announced, but I noticed as well, I believe, if I'm correct, Brendan O'Brien has got an old teammate as a new teammate once again at ERT in Scott Gamble. He has returned to Evolution Racing Team from 9.5 Sim Sports. Now, if I'm wrong, Scott, please tell me. But from his socials, that's what I believe has happened, is that he's gone back to ERT from 9.5, which is quite interesting. Damon's the same age as you for a week.
For a week,
well,
yeah. He's on the 16th of March. I'm on the 21st of March.
Well, at least your parents were consistent, Brett.
Oh, definitely consistent, yeah. Because there's my older sister. She's 1 year older than us, and she was born on the... Shit. I'll get back to you.
If you're going to tell me that she's within 2 weeks of both of you, I'm going to ask if there is a correlating date then, or a correlating date around 9 months before that may then answer those questions, but that's fine. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for confirming that as well. But no, that's good. Good to see you back at ERT. I'm sure I'll be able to have a conversation with Scott at some point and just ask him what some of the thought processes were and why he made that decision. Hopefully we'll see Scotty back on track with us in a couple of seasons' time.
Yeah.
Although I've heard rumours of a fast driver returning, so maybe Scott's just coming back next season.
Ah, there you go.
I'm not sure.
Hot news.
I'm not sure. I've heard rumours of a fast driver returning, but I don't know, to be honest with you. Hainesy's still dealing with those blinking issues inside of the top 10, so I have to wonder how much this may begin to affect Andrew Hoffman, although he's a bit far back from him, but he may call this in if it continues to happen because he's blinking quite consistently up in P9, and you'd hate to see him lose a top 10 because of internet issues. We're going to have 15 laps to go.
Worse than that sort of happen.
Yeah. So hopefully it stays true.
Hopefully Hoffy doesn't suffer from epilepsy or anything like that with Simon blinking in front of him.
Hopefully not. No. Also, we can talk about parity for a second here as well. Is it actually updated? No, it has. If you look inside the top 10, we've got 5 Camaros and 5 Mustangs evenly split inside of the 10. So it's, parity is real.
Yep. Well, I think they're the same base, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. You know what, actually, since they have finally updated it for SDK, we're going to leave that up, just so we can see what cars people are driving.
Right.
Oh, yes, maybe Mr. Vavell is back, actually. Maybe he is. He does race control for me on Mondays. I'll have to ask him about that. He's coming back. I know he wants to race in the Porsches, so maybe he's making a return to both.
So lap 24, 38.
Yeah, we've been getting a nice, good, consistent green run thus far. To give update on those drivers who had a bit of a tough run at the start of the race, Adrian Zeal and Shane Randall are still battling together. They're trying to get past Halil Cesar. And it seems to be, again, another unfortunate run for Cesar and Randall here tonight, Brett, that's going to force them to really try and perform across the next 3 weeks if they hope to really solidify that top 10 in the championship for themselves.
Yeah, and it always plays on everyone's mind, doesn't it? We've got drop rounds coming up, and that'll sort of settle a field and show the cards where we're all going to be lying for the closing stages of this series. So that'll be interesting to see where all that happens, or where that all settles. So just, Randall's right on the ginger of Cesar there. We've also got Minogue on the back of Monday. He's fairly close there. And then we've got that fairly large battle pack from 20 up to 10. So, with the Real only about 1.3 gap in the middle of there. Other than that, all those other cars are very, very close together. So still really, really close.
Look how far
Battles
Rick
all
Feiger's,
the way up and down.
Look how far Rick Feiger's dropped back from all this. Remember, he was up and around that top 10. He came in on lap 13, and he's really just lost out in this race. He's now back down to P19. Dave Arney as well was involved in that incident with him at turn 5 as well. So both these guys are now giving up positions and time. They're hot on the heels of Hedeshid.
Rick having a bit of a dive on the inside.
Yeah, he's not quite close enough.
No,
I don't think not hard enough of a braking zone to really lunge it up the inside there. It's more or less
you've got to really get a good exit.
You've got to be alongside before the actual braking zone, I think, to really get the job done. You can't do it from behind. So it's the same with turn 1. You've got to be alongside off the exit of 10 to get an opportunity at 1. Otherwise, it's not going to happen, unfortunately, because of the fast-paced nature of the corners. Further up as well, Caperonis with Mulford on his heels. Haynes is there as well, blinking in and out of existence. So might have to start calling him eyelids, Mr. Simon Haynes.
Yeah. I used to be called Phantom back in the day when I was on dial-up. Because I was a bit like Buddy Simon is at the moment, flashing here in and out.
Maybe we'll call him Headlight Haynes. He's flashing so often.
Mulford had a run on.
Yeah, Mulford. I mean, he's getting good run.
Yeah, he had a run. He had a run on Caperonis then, but maybe he's just. Is he preserving the car? He doesn't seem to be tackling like he was with Rick, but maybe Rick was the cork in the bottle before. But look at that switch back there. He's dived to the inside.
He's trying. He's
got enough pace.
He's trying so hard to get this job done, but he just can't get quite close enough to Caperonis on the entry to the corner.
Caperonis ran wide there.
Yeah.
And Haynes is just in the box seat as well, so he's just sitting there wanting to see what happens, and if anything untoward happens, he's going to pounce. Blanchard and Clifton, that was side by side for a second there.
Oh, but they made contact through one.
Yeah.
So both drivers off the road, dropping a bunch of spots. And I'm not sure if there must have been foul play because they both went off the road.
Yeah, well, they were side by side for a fair while because I've seen them swapping back and forward for a few turns there. So it's obviously that pressure cooker has boiled over.
Back on the front, Muggleton leads the way. Hyde and Vandermeulen on the podium.
Closing.
He's closing. O'Brien and Scholes and Rushworth battling in the next little triple threat pack as well. So there's some good, solid little battle packs starting to form.
Scholes is closing. Scholes got a big closing weight.
He is on him. What a comeback this is for Matt Scholes. An incredible effort thus far tonight.
Incredible.
As I said,
and he looks like he's got pace there too.
He does.
How he's closing.
Well, he put the car on pole, remember, so he had pace. Yeah. It's just he was kind of taken out of the contention because of the blown engine, but he's been brought right back into it, possibly due to the safety car, possibly not, but in a great run. But the problem now is he's got 10 lap older tyres than what O'Brien does. So his tyres are going to start dropping pretty drastically because we've got about 11 laps to go. So, it is so tight.
Yeah, like he's.
I think Rushy knows he's hanging back. He's waiting for a chance because I think he knows that Scholes is on he's got those much older tyres and he knows there may be lack of grip, maybe just by how the car's reacting ahead of him as well. That's right on board with Rushy for the straight, because let's just see maybe what he can see in how that car is reacting up ahead of him. So
yeah, well, and that happened a couple of times in when obviously I was racing this race, where you could see the pack in front of you getting a little bit hectic. So you sort of like backed out just a little bit, because if something went astray, you could try and make a calculated move, you know, and you don't really want to be right up on them if that happens.
So on board with Rushworth at the moment in his tight battle with Matt Scholes and Bretton O'Brien. Those guys are going one-on-one. He's chilling back here, waiting for an opportunity to sneak inside of the top 5.
Scholes right on him. He closed right up to 0.1. So he's still in that real pocket.
And Vandermeulen's got right up on the back of Ricky Hyde up ahead as well. So the battle for the top 3 continues on. And if these guys come together, well, O'Brien and Scholes are going to be in the hot seat to take advantage.
This is building up to be a great finish in this race. You know, like we're seeing some really close battles up the top. If you have a look at that timing tower, look at all the close battles going up all the way up and down that field. That's great.
Was they exit 5C and onto the back straight. They begin their charge once again towards turn 8, and Matt Scholes is hot on the heels of Brenton O'Brien.
Oh.
He's gone camping and parked a tent right underneath the rear wing of that Evolution Racing car. Holding the inside line is O'Brien. And those old tyres just don't have the grip on the outside line to send it round there like Mulford did probably only 15 or so laps ago. So he doesn't have the grip to get the move done, and that is helping O'Brien right now.
A bit of a dive on the inside there. I mean, is he just moving the car around to unsettle him, or does he know that he's got the pace and he's just trying to force the move?
I think he knows he's got the pace, but unfortunately he's got to force the easy move. He can't do it the hard way because of that lack of tyre grip.
Well, and the thing is too, is this isn't really clean. You're only putting yourself at detriment anyway.
Yeah.
Your brother looking at Stoles as well.
Yeah,
Stoyle, sorry.
He's having a good
look. He got really close there for a second.
Also noticed as well, Simon Haynes is dropping down the order, and he's got big damage on that Quantum Racing car. So Haynes is dropping, and that takes him outside of the top 10. That now promotes Matt Stoyles up there as Rushworth has gotten past Scholes and is now inside of the top 5 and hot on the heels of Bretton O'Brien.
Shame we missed that, but I wonder what happened there. But Rushy's taken big advantage there.
Big advantage. Maybe it was a lock up into 5, and that allowed Rushy through. He's bided his time. He's got the fresher tyres over Scholes again by 10 laps. So he's got the grip advantage, and now I have a feeling that Scholes may have pushed a little bit too hard, may have taken too much off the tyre. And he's got the pace. He's shown that, but I don't think he can attack, Brett. I think he's just going to have to settle maybe for P6 or hope and let Rushy go and let him attack forward.
Just further down the pack, Mackay got past Blanchard, but now Blanchard's in pits.
Yeah, I believe for
a
a drive-through at this point because of the incident with Mick Clifton, possibly. Haynes is in 2 to fix his car.
Dave Arney on Rick as well. He's closing big time there.
He's right on
so
him
Rick
once
under
again.
fire again. Oh, nearly has a sneak on the inside there.
He can't quite
and up front,
get up
Hyde's, sorry, jumping all around the point, but Hyde's actually only 0.1, 0.2 off Muggleton at the moment, so
he wants
this
this
is leading up
run.
big time.
Touches the rear. Gives him a little kiss for good luck. He can't quite get there, though. Vandermeulen's there, too, so he's feeling the pressure.
Yeah. What a battle. What a battle up the front here. And he's still got pace there. He runs out.
And if they finish how they are, Brett, these are going to be the top 3 in the championship going into Daytona next week. So could this be our championship battle that we're getting a preview of nice and early?
Could be. Looks like Sean should have backed out of that a little bit there, thinking probably that it's just getting a little bit desperate up the front there, but What a fantastic battle.
What a great race
Lap
it's been.
32 of 38. So we're starting to count the laps down big time
We
now.
are. And if we look at the 10, for the drivers who would be eligible for driver of the day, we've got 3 names or 4 names that stand out to me just quickly.
Rushworth was closing on O'Brien again. And he's obviously still got Scholes on the back of him as well. So
Yep.
the top 6 competitors here. What a fantastic race that these guys have had so far. Great battling.
It's been fantastic thus far. As I said, the names of the drivers who would be eligible for driver of the day at this point. I believe Ricky Hyde in P2 is yet to win it this season. I think Van der Meulen hasn't won it, but I could be corrected. I know that O'Brien hasn't. I know that Scholes hasn't. I know Mulford hasn't, and I know that Stoyles hasn't either. So there's some big names up there that are yet to win driver of the day in Split 2 this season. And I think at the moment, just for the performance of the night, my 2 front runners are O'Brien and Scholes. For the comeback for Scholes, but for the run forward for O'Brien, they're my current 2 front runners at the moment.
Definitely. So Van der Meulen closing on Hyde in second spot at the moment.
He wants this move. He wants the move. But Hyde's going to make it difficult for him. Ricky's one of the hardest drivers to pass in the whole field. Has great defensive acumen.
Fantastic clean racing going on here. Looks like we've got to move further down the back there. Rushworth and Scholes. Just as they exited.
Rushy's trying to get it done on O'Brien if he can. This is for P4 on the road. Inside line for Rushworth. O'Brien could get caught out on the outside line. As he gets it down the inside of 8, O'Brien just tucks nicely into the fold. It's good, clean racing from him.
Well, that's a great move by Rushworth. He's really pushed forward. He's got past O'Brien. He's got past Scholes. So he's really deserved that spot.
He's really
fought hard for it.
There's a reason why with 1 drop round he was P2 in the championship, and after 2 of them he'd be inside of the top 5. He has really improved over the past few seasons, and he's really clicking with the Gen 3 supercar, and it's paying off for Rushworth. If he can have a strong next couple of rounds, he could find himself in championship contention come the final round of the season. As you've just blinked massively, Brett. Where have you gone?
Yeah, Shadow Realm.
Okay, there you are.
It come up as low latency, you know. It says all of you know, all that sort of garbage. But yeah, I blinked out for a second, but came back, thank God, because as I was actually just watching the timing tower on that, and Damon and I were like 0.2, 0.3 of a second, right up in the back of Stoyles. And so that battle's been going on really, really well for the last number of laps.
Thank you for updating me on that one, Zoe. Sean Van der Meulen has not won it this season, so that now means that Sean is eligible tonight.
Scholes closed on O'Brien again, that battle that they were having earlier is now continued. The Civic, he's nearly had a look on the inside then.
I'm going to say, Brett, I reckon this race between both of them is their play-in to get to the driver of the day nomination. So whichever one comes out on top is going to get put into the nomination pool. So I'm not going to include both of them. I'm only going to include one of them, depending on who beats the other.
Yep, righto.
I think that's
challenge.
I think that's fair play.
Look at
challenge to them that they didn't even know was on during the race.
No, that's right. Yeah, and I was just looking at Jim Caparonis too. Like, he's in 7th spot at the moment, but he's 4.5, 5 seconds off the pace of Scholes. So I wonder how Jim felt about this track. Did he sort of cook the tyres early, or just didn't really?
Well, last lap he was 1/100th of a second slower than Scholes, but he's not able to chase him down. So he's able to match the pace, but he can't beat the pace of him. So
I thought he was just making little errors or
that,
or
it's because he's under pressure from Mulford, because Mulford looks to get round him.
Yeah.
So big pressure on Caparonis, and he's falling another position. So now he's below 1 from where he started this race, and Mulford gets past him.
So looking back up at the front there, so Ricky Hyde's just falling slightly off the back of Muggleton now. He's 0.6, 0.7 behind. But Vanderbilt is now closed up again too there. Caperonis is still on the back of Mulford, so he's only 0.2, 0.3. I'm about 0.3 and Damon's about 0.4 there, so that battle's still continuing there. Weston is about 0.2, 0.6, 0.6. What a clown. 0.6, 0.3. Now have a look at this.
Header sheet up the inside at turn 1 on Arnie. In a good move, you saw it. It's
Nice
pretty much
move.
what I've spoken about all night. Get the run out of 10, get
Yeah.
alongside before the corner, and you can get the move done. But now you got to go the long way around at 2 if they start to defend. So Heddersheet's not had it
They've
done
only
quite
been holding.
yet. Arnie's trying to hold him, but he's got the inside line at 3, and Heddersheet is going to get that job done. And a great
Yeah.
move.
That was a great move. And same again, this battle pack here is huge again. Like, great to see, you know, with only a couple of laps to go now, that there's a whole lot of racing going on all up and down the field. And like we saw in qualifying and practice, the times are so close. So it's, you know, whoever can make the least amount of mistakes.
Well, it's been a good comeback for Shane Randall thus far as well. He's back up to P22 after his incident on lap 1 and then subsequent drive-through. So good run from him. There are some positives he can pull from this race, but he's struggling to find a way around Brett Taylor here to end out his day. So we'll see how this progresses further as there's contact ahead with Fewens and Heddersheet. Fewens is off the road and just trying to pick up the pieces in a wild moment towards the end of this race. We've only got a couple laps left.
Well, maybe, yes.
There's big damage on that car, so struggle
Hop onto
street
myself and
for,
my brother too, if you like, because I say I reckon there's something going to happen up here too.
Oh, we're about to have a self-wobble. We're about to get a self-wobble from you here, Brett.
Oh, maybe. I tell you what, I really enjoyed this battle. It was a fantastic battle. We were really even throughout the whole race. I don't want to take anything else away from the race anywhere else on the track, but as I say, Vanderbilt is closing big time on Hyde, but
We'll get that one back up in a moment, because if it's a self-report, we got to respect the self-report of Brett Fisher here.
and there we go. I'll let the blue smoke out.
Yep, and the engine's gone, and there goes your dreams of a top 15. Very unfortunate, Brett. Very unfortunate. Heartbreaking.
I was feeling.
Final lap, though, for the race leader, Matt Muggleton and co. He's built a good lead over Ricky Hyde and Sean Vandermeulen, and he's only 3 and a bit Ks away from remaining the only multiple-time winner this season. It would take his tally up to 3, 2 wins ahead of anyone else who's taken a race win thus far this season. Ricky Hyde is trying his best to survive here in P2, ahead of a fast-approaching 9.5 Sim Sports entry of Sean Vandermeulen. Rushworth's got a good gap over O'Brien, who still leads to Matt Scholes inside of the top 5. So it looks to be O'Brien who wants to get into the Driver of the Day nominations as well. But what a race it has been at the front of the field for 150 Ks of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, with a little 5-minute interval in there for good measure of us having to reset everything.
Oh, that's all back in the past.
We appreciate everyone's patience. We appreciate everyone's time as well. As Muggleton comes around turn 8 and in towards turn 9, Vandermeulen's gotten right up onto Ricky Hyde, but he does not get another opportunity to get this move done before the final few corners. And around comes Matt Muggleton. It's win number 3 of the season. 2 in a row for Muggleton. As Hyde comes across the line, P2. Vandermeulen on the podium. Rushworth, P4. O'Brien inside of the top 5. Scholes in a great comeback drive. Mulford, Caperonis, Hoffman makes it a double SCR top 10. And Stoyles will slot into the final top 10 position ahead of Damon Fisher, Mario Reali, Scott Weston, Rick Viger and Dave Harney for your top 15 here tonight. Monday, Minogue, Heddersheet, Randall and Zeal the top 20. Harlan, Taylor, Cesar, Barella, DeGoey for the top 25. Mackay, Blanchard, Clifton, Haynes, Bush. Last of the finishers with Brett Fisher, Jason Fewens, Derek Lovegrove and Sean Cullen in the pit lane at the end of this race. But it's a race win and a solid one at that for Matt Muggleton here tonight.
What a fantastic finish. What a fantastic race from all competitors. It was even though I went out in the end there, it was a very enjoyable race. And it was, look, it was fantastic all the way up and down the field, and well done to these guys. You know, Sean Van der Meulen, I think, played. You know, he was trying to attack. I mean, he sort of dropped back there a little bit, but then came back up. You know, so great challenges all the way through. Absolutely fantastic.
So we'll just get some B-roll happening for you now. Our race winner's pulled it up at turn 5. Have a feeling he may have run out of fuel at this point. Quite possibly. We'll get the B-roll happening though. And what a race it was for these drivers here tonight. We'll get our Driver of the Day nominations into the chat for everyone out there to list for us. We'll go Driver of the Day noms.
So I hope everyone enjoyed that race who were on track. It was a great race. I enjoyed the track. It was challenging, you know, and I think everyone did a great job. Obviously, there were some winners and losers in this race, but I think everyone did a fantastic job. There was some, you know, great racing all the way up and down the field, and you know, yeah, it's all done and dusted now.
You know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give both Brenton and Matt Driver of the Day nom options.
Oh, very good.
So those nominations are in. We only want to see one of those 4 names from you in your vote. Don't want to see anyone else, please. It makes it a lot easier for us. Otherwise, everyone would vote for themselves or their best friend. So
I'd vote for me.
Well, my cat apparently wants to vote for himself because he's knocking at the door to get let out. So I'll quickly let him out, and then we'll run through our podium finishes as well. Okay, so we mentioned it before, but we'll bring it up once again before we have a chat to Matt Muggleton, our race winner. Provisional race results on your screen now for round 7 of the season. Matt Muggleton takes the win ahead of Ricky Hyde and Sean Van der Meulen on the podium. Andrew Rushworth, Brenton O'Brien inside of the top 5, and Matt Scholes, Tim Mulford, Jim Caparonis, Andrew Hoffman, and Matt Stores for your top 10. Damon Fisher, Mario Reale, Scott Weston, Rick Viger, Dave Varney for your top 15. Matt Monday, Brian Minogue, Simon Heddersheed, Shane Randall, Adrian Zeal. Good comeback drives from them. They get inside of the top 20. Further back, we have Halil Cesar, Mikey Harlan, Brett Taylor, Richard Barella, Reese DeGoey for the top 25. Lorne Mackay, Chris Blanchard, Mick Clifton, Simon Haynes, Jeremy Bush for the top 30. As we then have Brett Fisher, Jason Fewens, Derek Lovegrove, Sean Cullen, the technical non-finishers of this race here this evening, but some of them did make the 75% mark as well. We got quite a few votes out there coming in at the moment. Got a couple for O'Brien, a couple for Ricky Hyde, a couple for Sean Van der Meulen as well. How many have we got for each? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can't put your vote in, Brett. I'm not going to count your vote on that one. 4, 1, 2. Okay. All right. So
Can you just do another count again for a second? Just do another count.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Ah.
Aha. Okay, get ya. Yeah.
Actually, I should have done this.
All right. Well, with a vote of 4 to 3 to 2, our Driver of the Day award this evening is going to be going to, for the first time this season, in P5 on the road, Brenton O'Brien. An incredible effort tonight. As I said, 4 votes. 3 votes went to Ricky Hyde, 2 went to Sean Van der Meulen. And a very fair effort from the other drivers out there, but a solid effort from O'Brien finds him as Driver of the Day this evening. And notches him off the list to be eligible again this season, so it does make it easier for those other drivers to get nominated again. But an incredible effort there from Brenton to get the Driver of the Day award for Evolution Racing Team in the Logitech G entry as well. Just a quick one before we chat to Matt Muggleton, our race winner. I have got a message to read out from Sean Van der Meulen once again this week. He's currently been doing SCOPS qualifying. So he wanted to give thanks to Matt, Ricky, and Andrew for great clean racing. It was great fun. The guys at 95 Sim Sports Racecraft Simulations, their title sponsor, RSW Graphics, Track School, Track Days and Racing Ears, us at the broadcast, admin and all the vets drivers that shop each week to make it what it is. Thank you so much, Sean, for sending that message in once again so we could read out your sponsors for you and everyone you wanted to thank. Best of luck in your Scops qualification, and if you make it into Scops tomorrow as well. But next up on the ticket, we've got our race winner here tonight, 3-time race winner now this season, Matt Muggleton of Old Mate and Sons. Matt, an incredible effort. You remain as the only driver to take multiple race wins this season, and after drop rounds, you'll lock in the championship lead with 3 rounds to go. Are you going to hold on to that orange number, though, or are you going to give it up?
Oh, I've got the championship lead, have I? That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, look, that was an exciting race. Ricky and Sean, they both had the speed advantage on me. I was really surprised to get the call to line up behind the safety car. I don't know how I got such a big undercut. And when I came out just in front of Ricky, I kind of thought, well, that'll be the race. But yeah, it was interesting. It was all over the place.
Well, obviously, it's. I was going to say it's a solid chunk of points, Matt. This season's been a season of halves. I've been talking about it with Brett throughout the night. The first half of the season, we had obviously 5 different race winners, but this second half of the season has been yours for the taking thus far. Has much changed in the last half of the season for you, or is it just more or less you've been really getting into your groove more and more?
Yeah, I think I'm getting a lot more used to the wheel, dialing in all the settings, and that's sort of feeling nice. But I guess each race I've won so far this season, it's all been big undercut stuff. So I don't know how far I'm going to have to keep bringing back the undercut if we all start doing undercuts. But with overtake so hard on track, race start, pit in, pit out, undercut, it's so important.
Well, then, do you think next week undercut's going to be strong at Daytona? It's a longer lap time. It's a longer race. Do you think you might be on for a win again, or do you think you may struggle, seeing as the undercut's not going to be as strong with such a long pit lane?
Yeah, I don't know. I love that place. I love that track. It's one of my favorites. So I'm hoping that I'll go well. You never know what's going to happen, but yeah, undercut wise, like it's a long race. I think that through the infield section there, a lot of those 180-degree bends, getting the power down, I think there's still going to be a big chunk of undercut to be made up through the infield. So I'm probably, look, there's probably no hiding it now. I'm just going to try and do it every time until it doesn't work, and I've got to figure something else out.
Strategy's out.
Yeah, that's it. But Daytona's going to be a different beast. I think it's going to be so exciting. I've done a little bit of practice. The draft is in effect. Turn 1 is going to be interesting. But yeah, I think the racing is going to be super cool there.
Well, some fantastic racing going tonight, all the way up and down the field, and the challenges, even just in the last half of this race, were sensational. Like Van der Meulen and yourself, and can't even remember the other guy's name now. Bloody hell, how hopeless am I? Rushworth. But it was all compressing, and there was challenges all the way up and down the field. Did you feel the pressure at all coming from behind you, or just focus forward?
No, actually, this is probably the first race I've ever really experienced it, but I felt the pressure a lot from Ricky. After that safety car restart, I got a little gap, and I thought I'd be able to hold it. And then he charged back up to me. I knew my tyres were 2 laps younger than his, so I tried to push a bit more, and then I just feel like I blew the tyres away and could never bring it back. And Ricky was all over me. He was diving left, diving right. It's that's my shtick, moving around in the mirrors, and it made me nervous and got me offline a few times. There was once there down the front straight, we were side by side, and I just got better drive on acceleration, but made me really nervous, and I couldn't stop looking at the mirrors. But once Sean got to him, because basically I was so slow, once Sean got to him and then Sean started doing the same thing to him, it gave me a chance to get the gap. So I got lucky in the end. I was thinking about, I'd settle for third. I'll take third. I was thinking about it, so it was definitely affecting my race. But yeah, it was really cool and immersive,
Well, Matt, it's another strong performance for you. You continue on as the only multiple-time winner this season with 3 race wins next to your name. Let us know of anyone you want to give a shout out to, any of your sponsors or friends or family that may be watching. For myself, Brett, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your race win at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park here this evening.
Cheers, guys. Thanks to you guys. Broadcast is always great. Had a few little technical issues tonight, but you brought it back brilliantly. Thanks to the team. We had a good little chat before the race this week. It was a good little bit of fun, but I'm going to be sort of dropping it pretty soon. I'll let you know, Hamish, but I am going to be on the move next season. So
ooh, I expect those messages before the final round so we can reveal it at VIR.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to actually bring home the championship for all mates under the circumstances, but not really going to think about it. What I am thinking about is top 5. I really want to go to split 1. So.
Well, mate, you've had a phenomenal performance thus far this season, proving yourself week in and week out. Best of luck across the next 3 rounds, especially next week at Daytona, which is the next big test on the ticket. Thanks for coming to have a chat to us as well. And we'll see. Maybe there's only 3 more times we can talk to you before you head up to split 1.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
good
mate.
work.
Well done, mate.
Talk to you next week.
No worries. Thank you.
Done.
Matt Muggleton on the move at the end of the season. And
he's going to be tough to beat.
He will. He's on the move now. Like Victoria, he's on the move now. He's on the move at the end of the season. What will his new team be? Well, he's had confirmation that outside of the team that he's going to, that we'd be the first to find out. So we appreciate Matt giving us the scoop on that before the final round. He's had a great season thus far as well, and been a great sport throughout the season too. To Ricky Hyde, a great performance from him for P2 as well for 801 Sim Sports. Let me find his message from last week because I can just read out the same people because, well, it's the same. It
Sorry,
hasn't changed.
Ricky, I went blank there for a second. What a bloody clown.
He wanted to give thanks to everyone throughout the season as well. They've had a great run all season. Thanks to RC management and the volunteers for tireless efforts. It's always appreciated, and I hope he still loves watching the broadcast as well. So yeah, to Ricky, congratulations on his P2 tonight. He's within the championship fight, as are the other drivers inside of the top 4, Sean Van Mille and Andrew Rushworth, as well as Jim Caparonis and co as well. There's work to be done for some drivers across the next couple of weeks, though. They're going to have to earn their stripes if they hope to take advantage towards the end of the season. Daytona is going to be the next big test on the ticket. As I said, next week we head out to the home of the Daytona 500 and the Rolex 24, as well as the Raw before the 24 as well. So last time I was here personally, I won. Hopefully we, you know what? I hope next week we get a new multiple time winner. I hope we get a new nothing against Matt. I hope we get a new multiple time winner just to really spice it up for us. Get Rushy another win. Get Kappa another win or something. Like, really
how good would it be to see Caparonis
reignite the season of Rushworth and Caparonis and get them their second race win? It would cause absolute limbs. It'd be fantastic. But for myself, Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside, appreciate everybody's time, appreciate everybody being here once again. Big shout out to the series sponsors, Racecraft Simulations, the title sponsors, the other series sponsors as well, Logitech G, Paramount Isuzu, Play One Sim Gear, Nova Sim Sports, Sud Speed Gloves, LGC Images, and Chubby Buns Burgers for their Driver of the Day award. This week it went the way of Brenton O'Brien of Evolution Racing Team. Next week it could go to you. If you're watching on the V8 Veterans channel, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here with the V8 Vets action of Split 2, Split 3, and Split 4 as well by way of Infinity Broadcasting, AJR Broadcasting, and WKMP TV. If you're watching over the Infinity Broadcasting channel, please hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing. Of course, Saturday nights, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we bring you the Vets Split 2 action, myself and Brett Fisher alongside. Monday night, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we bring you the IRWC Presents VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series, myself and James Parfitt in the booth. But until next time, appreciate everyone's time, appreciate everyone being here once again for the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Season 23. Split 2 action for Round 7 out at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We'll see you guys next week for Round 8 out at Daytona for 300 Ks. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Summer The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. But very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In this sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's just say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Racekraft PT1, custom-built full-chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racekraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racekraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no-compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.